All righty, so let's get started. So first of all, I want to thank my co-host Cindy Reed. I was out last week, was under the weather, and sometimes you get out of balance, and you just need to get yourself back on track. And so I'm thankful to be back here this evening. But I listened to her video recording that she did with Teresa LeGrand, and it was flawless. She did just a magnificent job. So she's great, and I really appreciate her. So we just welcome you to Redox Nurse Talk, and like I said, I'm Dory. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a nurse here, and we'll have Cindy share her a little bit about herself in just a few minutes. But we are independent global associates with a research cellular health company called ASEA. And so our mission is to educate people about this technology called redox signaling molecules and how they can be incorporated into your lifestyle. And so again, we thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. And I believe you made an investment in being here. So like I said, what you're about to hear is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. We feel like if you get on this technology, it'll do exactly what it's supposed to do in your body. So we do have a few housekeeping rules. It's mainly for me. But if you're going to move away from your screen, if you'll just turn your screen off, so that'll just help us not get distracted and wonder where you are, where you went to. Okay. So each week we're honored to have a guest on our Redox Nurse Talk that can share, how this technology of Redox is helping them either, physically or financially. And we'll be interviewing her a little bit later in the our talk here. But I'm going to turn it over to Cindy and let her share a little bit about herself.
Thank you, Doria, and thank you for the sweet words. It feels good to have you back because I was lost without you last week. We just kind of worked together in a nice pattern, nice rhythm. And I appreciate all that you do. And I'm glad you're feeling better as well. Like you said, we do have to get back in balance. Everybody gets out of balance, and that's kind of what we're talking about tonight. So I am a nurse also, a nurse here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I had gone down the pathway of looking for something more holistic and without the side effects and toxicity of traditional medicines for some autoimmune challenges that I had. I was introduced to this product about 4.5 years ago now. And once I saw how it worked or the technology behind it, I was really all in before I really had tried the product very much. So I've been on it 4.5 years and have seen some great results with my challenges. I don't have any symptoms at the time and no medications. So, and with that and the things that I saw, that just really created an opportunity for business. So I'd like the concept of being your own boss and working where you want to and when you want to. So I was sold on that. I still work as a hospice nurse, but I'm working to see on the side with hopes and plans to make this my full-time career. So thank you, Doria, for letting me share.
Yes. So, yeah, I was introduced to this awesome technology by a friend, like a lot of us have. And if you're new to being on this Zoom tonight, welcome again. And I'm so thankful that somebody had the courage to, invite you to come and hear about this. But I didn't have any health challenges as though I thought I didn't. But I want to live a long life of vitality, and be in a state of wellness. And in my career as a nurse for 43 years, a lot of my patients, when they get to be my age in their late 60s, they start having a lot of health challenges that impede their activity, lifestyle, and the things that they enjoy doing. So that's the reason why I embarked on the redox journey, and I've had a lot of wonderful things it's done for me, but it's not all about me. It's about our guest this evening who will share her testimony. So I will always be on this product. I plan to live to be 100 years old, and I'm going to be in a good state of wellness to do that. So thank you.
And I do want to do a little sidebar about our guest tonight. Her name is Carol Montgomery, and I met Carol last fall in Fort Worth. And it's so interesting, and that's what I love about this business, the people that we meet and the places where they come from. So, and I love her accent. So Carol is from England. Um, And so we met in Fort Worth. She's from England, but she lives in Knoxville, which is 3 hours away. So it's just amazing how things kind of tie together. But she'll have a great testimony, and I'm excited to have her on. But before we do that, we always like to share a short video. And this is from Alan Noble, and it just tells you a little bit about the technology and how it works. And you'll also get to hear from our medical professionals. So if you're new to this and have not seen these, watch the video, and then you can also go back to this website. It's called realredoxresults.com, and the password is Redox. And you can look at different testimonials based on categories on the left. But we're just going to do the overview video that just explains the technology for the moment. So let me share my screen and we will watch that.
Hello, my name is Alan Noble. I've been involved in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to introduce you to a cutting-edge health technology that we call ASEA Redox. ASEA Redox represents a new category in health and wellness that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. It could not be done. And yet today, health and medical experts around the world are calling ASEA Redox one of the single greatest health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. Now, a great place to get started is to get clear on what ASEA Redox is not. It's not a vitamin, a mineral, an antioxidant supplement. It's not an exotic juice, essential oil, or a CBD oil. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I'm just saying they're not ASEA Redox. This technology goes beyond nutrition. It goes beyond ingredients, and yet it has the power to impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. For many people, ASEA Redox is the missing link to better health and vitality. Now, to understand this technology, you've got to realize that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells are signaling and communicating critical messages for health, healing, and repair. If there's any breakdown in that signaling, you cannot achieve your full health potential. You see, this signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. You could say that if your cells can't signal, then little else matters. Now, you've probably heard it said that we live and die at the cellular level. If you want a healthy heart, have healthy heart cells. If you want healthy lungs, have healthy lung cells. Well, as science looks deeper inside your 75 trillion cells, they've discovered a very special set of molecules called redox signaling molecules. These are the molecules that you make that are absolutely foundational for healthy cell signaling throughout your body. However, here's the challenge. With age, diet, stress, toxins, we begin to make less of these redox signaling molecules. And it's about 10% decline every decade. So by age 50, you've about half the signaling that you had when you were younger. And as a result, things just don't work like they used to. You begin to see, you begin to feel the effects of aging. A simple example. Imagine your home's on fire and you call the fire department and they're there with the big red truck, the firefighters, the fire hose. They've got everything they need to put out this fire. But what if you have a bad cell signal? They don't get the message. They don't know what the problem is, where the problem is, how serious the problem is, and your home goes up in smoke. Well, it's the same with your health. So let me ask you a very powerful question. What if? What if you could amplify and clarify this critical cell signal and empower your body to work like it's supposed to? That would be a game changer. So introducing ASEA Redox, the world's first and only cell signaling supplement powered by high energy redox signaling molecules. And since this technology is backed by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets, there's no other supplement like it in the world. Now, not only is ASEA Redox a cell signaling technology, but it also signals at the profound depths of the genetic level. In an 8-week study, it was found that drinking ASEA Redox could increase 5 important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%, positively impacting 5 major areas of health: immune function, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, digestive health, and even hormone balance. It's also been shown that ASEA Redox significantly impacts the NRF2 pathway, which is the master switch that signals the production of the most powerful antioxidants known to man, including the master antioxidant glutathione. Now, 2 separate university studies showed that ASEA Redox increases NRF2 activation by up to 60%, resulting in an increase of glutathione production by up to 55%. So although ASEA Redox is not your traditional antioxidant supplement, its impact on antioxidant health is nothing short of astonishing. Now, this is just one key on the ASEA piano. ASEA Redox is much more than an NRF2 activator or an antioxidant supplement. Remember, signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. If your cells can't signal, then little else matters. So at this point, let's hear what health and medical professionals are saying about the ASEA Redox breakthrough.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries. But now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
So hopefully you're beginning to see why this technology is being hailed as one of the most significant health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. It's empowering people to feel better than ever before. For many, it is the missing link to better health and vitality. And it's not just health. Athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. In a university study, mice drinking ASEA Redox for only 7 days ran 29% further to exhaustion due to significant metabolic shifts in their bodies as they started to burn more fat as fuel. And so amateur athletes all the way to Olympic athletes are enjoying the ASEA athletic advantage. Now, after another 5 years of research and development, the scientists behind ASEA Redox were able to develop Renew 28, a topical gel that is infused with these powerful high-energy redox signaling molecules. So you've probably heard it said that seeing is believing. Well, when Renew 28 is applied to the skin, it results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging. It also improves skin cell renewal rates and increases skin cell blood flow. We also discovered that when you apply Renew 28 to anywhere that hurts, ideally 3 applications in 5 minutes, over 90% of people notice a significant reduction in their discomfort. Now, I do want to point out that we have continued to expand our range of redox signaling products to include an intensive redox serum for those little trouble spots, and then more recently the redox clay mask, combining our redox signaling gel with an ultra pure bentonite clay. And so, headed up by the big blue bottle, this is our cell signaling product division. However, we have 4 product divisions in total. We offer a very clean and effective skincare system called Renew Advanced, high-quality bioavailable nutritionals called ASEA Via, and more recently, fun functional beverages called Cell Performance that address fatigue, brain fog, stress, as well as a vegan amino acid formula that helps your body build its own valuable collagen. Now, of course, the purpose of this video was to introduce you to our remarkable cell signaling technology. Now, we have other videos and websites that go a lot deeper into this health science breakthrough. But for now, I would encourage you to explore some of the other videos on this website. This is where you're going to hear how this technology has impacted people's lives. And some of these stories are absolutely astonishing. Real people sharing real redox results. So this is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today, and bye for now.
There we are. Alan does such a wonderful job explaining the technology and introducing the guest and going into the other products as well. So I like showing that. So now, Doria, I'm going to turn this back over to you for you to introduce our guest tonight. And then if y'all want to, we don't open it up for questions at the end, but we do open up the chat, which is open. So if you have questions for Carol, go ahead and put those in the chat as she talks, and we can, if time allows, she can answer those afterwards.
All righty. So it's with great pleasure and an honor to introduce you to Carol Montgomery. And she's, as Cindy had shared, she's born in England, not far from London. Presently, she lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. She attended the Art College in Manchester, studying ceramics, furniture design, and fine metalwork. She worked at a medieval pottery in the Cotswold villages, and I looked at those on the internet, and it was just beautiful. It just looked like something out of a picture book in a like a nursery rhyme or something. It was just really a pretty area. She returned to Manchester University for postgraduate art for an art teaching degree, and she has taught in various countries around the world and eventually became a full-time artist. She met her late husband in Oman, which is in the Middle East, and then he brought her back to the United States to Tennessee. She has one stepdaughter and a granddaughter who lives in Texas. She has lived in the United States for 30 years, and her desire is to join her sister and her family in New Zealand in a couple years. And I think before we recorded, she said hopefully in 2025. So I'm going to start off and ask you, will you share with us your redox journey?
Sure thing, I will. As we talked earlier, I've been in many network marketing companies, and I said, no more. I don't want to do this anymore. So are you familiar with Russell Mariani, girls? So Russell, I've known Russell for a long time. And he was talking about general health, something that I was following. And he just mentioned in passing ASEA. This was in 2020. And I had heard of it, but I didn't know what it was. So I called him back afterwards. I said, what is ASEA? Which of course is what everybody wants to hear, who is in the business. And he told me, and it was so different and it was so interesting that I thought, this is you know, if it's half as good as it sounds as if it is, it's going to be really worth doing. So in a way, it's my health insurance. Not that I don't have other, but I'm like Doria. I don't want to live to 100, Doria. I want to live to 120. I got a lot of stuff I want to do in my life. So I'm thinking that this is probably going to help me do that. So I started off. I'm very healthy. I've got good energy. I just live a very healthy life. I've always been very careful about what I eat, and I like to grow things to eat. So I wasn't expecting anything. I really just fell in love with the science. So I started in, I think, July or August, or in that time in 2020, and two months after I began, I went and had my teeth cleaned, and they found a fractured tooth. So, I mean, I couldn't see it. It wasn't one of my front teeth. Anyway, I thought, okay, well, we better do a crown. So we made an appointment for 6 months' time, and they couldn't find the fracture in 6 months. So I saved $1,000 plus right there. And that, I mean, it got my attention. It really got my attention later on when I realized how unlikely a fractured tooth is to mend itself. So as I've been going on, Cindy, you're 4.5 years that you've been doing this. I think I've been doing it for 3.5. So I kept noticing things that were doing better. I haven't worn shorts in years because they didn't hurt, but they were unsightly veins on my legs. So I can wear shorts now. They don't have to not go out in public anymore, those legs of mine. So that was really cool, and lots of little things like that I wasn't expecting. The last year, I've had, of course, I'm on Medicare. I'm 75, and I think Medicare is great, actually. But I really don't have any hormones. I mean, any medication. I have hormones that I've done for years and years, but that's the only thing I take. But because of Medicare, you get to have all the tests done, which is really, really good. Every test I had in the last year has been better than it was. I have issues with bones that are not strong enough, and I've been doing DEXA scans since 2019, and I got them out recently to have a look at, and they got worse and worse and worse and worse until this last year. And I have had a 5% improvement in one hip and a 4% improvement in the other hip, and a bit of improvement in my spine. And I've been shrinking. I mean, one does as one age, especially when you're short. So I'd lost about 2.5 inches, and I thought, well, let's see if I've grown any. So I asked my nurse practitioner to measure me. I grew 1/4 inch last year. So hopefully this is the trend now. I might get back up well, probably not, but a couple of inches more would be really, really lovely. So it works. It really works. And what I particularly like, I told you I've been in many, many network marketing companies that have folded, that have not been well managed, all sorts of things. And some of the products, I think the products are really good in network marketing. I still take 1 or 2 of them that I have really, really liked. But what I particularly like about this company is how thoughtful they are, how they want to help us, how they have got lots of money. They don't need to be making money. They're doing this because of what it does for people. And the ethics are just really stunning. I just love the people. And I've met the founder, I've met Alan Noble, and they're just so generous and so thoughtful, and they listen. And I just love that. So I'm going to stop and see if you've got any questions for me.
All righty. So we're talking about the ASEA Redox that's in the blue bottle, and I don't have it in front of me here. And
Yes.
so you're 75 years old. So how much did you start with, and then what are you taking right now?
I started off with what is recommended to start with, which is 2 ounces twice a day, morning and evening. And then I got myself onto 6 ounces, and that was quite a long time ago, and I can't remember why. Maybe that I just thought, if this is working at 4 ounces, I want to see what's working at 6. And very recently, I've gone on to 8 ounces because people talk about it being the sweet spot. So we'll see what happens. But I was so well to start with. I mean, so many people have issues, and you see them just feel better so fast. It's lovely. I just
Yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't realize, like, the video is sharing about, cells. You're talking about, your bones and your tooth, those are cells too. And so, whether it's your heart, your pancreas, your brain, is going to, if you're replenishing it, it's a bioreplenishment, then it's going to work there. What I was going to say now, I lost my train of thought. Okay. So you take the liquid, so you find a sweet spot. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sorry. I'm not back to all par. My brain, I need some more self-performance mind. What I was going to say is that people don't realize that you can have something brewing at the cellular level for 7 years before you start having symptomology related to it. So people say, well, I just recently have this. No, it's been going on at the cellular level for a long time, So I look at it as you will, because I wasn't on any medications, but I don't want to know what I'm preventing. That, so, and we, again, I got to put the disclaimer in there, is that this is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure anything, but it is replenishing, what's been lost, because I started 4 years ago too. And, I was at a deficit, and we lose 1% every year, from puberty onward. So, I just wanted to share that. So you're taking it orally or by mouth, like we say.
you're using
Are
the
you
gel. I'm using
also,
lots of things.
yeah. So
Is that
how
what you're
else
gonna?
are you using the liquid? Are you use this in your eyes, in your
Yes, I
nose, or
spray it in my
tell us
eye.
a testimony about using it in your eyes.
Well, I don't really have a testimony, except that my eyesight is better this last year. I know Russell uses it in his eyes, and he was able to give up glasses that he had been wearing since a child. But I said I spray it in my eyes. I use an eyedropper, and I put it in just a couple of drops in each eye. It makes it feel pretty good. I've had pretty dry eyes all my life, and I really am not aware. Maybe it's helped that. I haven't thought about that. But I like the way my stomach was not working well with some beef collagen that I was taking, and I hadn't been taking it for very long, but I was taking quite a lot of it, just to experiment with it. And then our Radiance came out, which is the vegan amino acids, which help us make the collagen. It's much more instant than doing the other, and a lot of people find it's not good on the digestion. So I've do a lot of the cell performance things. I don't do the mood, because I never need it. I'm happy all the time. I'm so sorry. But I do the biome. I really like that in the Via line. And I love the skincare. I got quite sensitive skin, and I just love that. It's so soothing and very, very nice.
Good. So I wanted to ask, some of you that might be on the Zoom may not know about Dr. Russell Marani. He is like a gastroenterology specialist and a functional medicine. So he is a physician. So for him to,
he's not
a physician. Okay,
no,
a functional medicine.
He's just been doing this for 40 years.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to distinguish for others who he is,
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So you have taken this personally for yourself, but you also have a beloved cat. So tell us a little testimony about your cat Echo.
My cat Echo, who's a fixed male, and a lot of male cats have issues with not being able to pee easily. And it was really sad to watch him. He actually taught himself to pee in the sink in the bathroom, which was really useful. Anyway, he was really suffering, and so I thought, well, I'll try him with this. And sometimes people have to use, I mean, when it's an animal, there's no placebo. So it was very, very interesting to watch this. Most cats will not lap it out of a bowl. He will. So some people use a syringe and just put a little bit into the mouths of their animals, but cat's the only animal I have at the moment. But you've met Beth, you've both met Beth, who is she's the ASEA animal specialist, and she uses it on her little racehorses. And her cat was in her barn, burnt down about 6 weeks ago, and it was in the daytime and there were no animals in it, thank goodness, but she thought the barn cat might have been in it. But he did get badly burned. His ears got burned, his whiskers got burned, so they were just little stubs, and he got some burns here, and his ears, they thought they were going to lose his ears, but she used the gel, the Renew 28, on that, and he was better really, and amazingly fast, just a few days. My cat hasn't had an issue with his with that since I started giving him the ASEA. I give it to him every morning, and he really he makes a lot of noise if I don't give it to him in time. So he's very happy, very healthy. I have no idea how old he is. I think he might be about 15 by now, but he's very active and very affectionate, thank goodness.
That's wonderful. So, animals have cells, and so do plants. Plants have cells too.
Yes.
So this can work on anything that has a cell. All right. I think
Haven't
you
tried
have
it on the plant
answered.
yet.
You already talked about the other. So, we have our ASEA line, which is the Redox, a flagship product. And then she talked about the Renew 28 that are high energy molecules in a gel form. And so we have a Redox line. And then she also spoke about our ASEA Via line, which are like the nutrition or the support to the cell. And then, of course, our cell performance, that you spoke of, that your take, that. So, our company has about 13 products, but they are all supportive and work synergistically together, which is really powerful.
I think used, oh, sorry. Do you want me to continue? Because I have used the energy and the mind. It's the mood I don't use. I have used those two driving from Houston to Knoxville in a day, which is it's a long drive, and worked great. Got home I set off about 6 in the morning. I got home at 5 to midnight, and I was still going. So it works very well. They've done some very good recipes with these products that they've made. They're really, really high quality.
For sure.
Yeah.
So are you, so you've had great results physically for yourself and for your cat. Are you also sharing this technologies with others?
I am. Yes, people do get really good results. Sometimes it takes a while though, and you've got to be committed to giving it a good shot. And they say give it 3 months. Well, you'd give anything 3 months that you were trying, because you can't tell in a day. Most people can't. Every now and then somebody will be lucky. But I think you should give it 6 months to really know. And if you don't get the result you want, double it. Is that what you do? You tell people to do the same thing?
Yeah. If I'm going, like last week when I was sort of out of sorts and out of balance, I actually drank 1 bottle for a couple of days. I mean, 1 bottle per day.
Yeah.
To get back on track.
You
Yeah.
really can't overdo it. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's all the questions I have. I'm gonna let my co-host Cindy, or my partner, I said she's not my co-host, but I'll let her ask any questions that she might have.
Okay, thank you, Doria. I've been really impressed so far with your testimony, Carol. So I have a couple of things. So going back to Russell Mariani, how did you meet him? How did your paths cross?
Well, we actually met. He thinks he met me, but he didn't. He was educating in a previous company that I was in. He was on the stage and
Okay.
telling us, what was going on. That's how I knew him. But then I just followed him afterwards for a while.
So he's the one that got you in, actually? Yeah. Okay. And so listening to him, I kind of know his thought process. And I think from talking with you, you are always looking for more natural alternative type things, and which is great.
I've been doing that practically my whole life. So
it's probably why you're so healthy.
Maybe.
And I think from what I hear, the United States allows a lot more toxic chemicals in our cosmetic products and other products as well than what Europe does. So that's a good thing for y'all. We just need to work on our side.
Yeah, it's very disconcerting when Europe has banned something and they usually have a really good reason for doing it, and we don't here.
Right. It is really concerning.
Yeah.
Going back, you talked about the companies, the other multi-level networking companies you were in. And I know you talked a little bit about ASEA and our company and how everybody is so nice. What else would you say that's different? Or if someone wanted to join the business, to do the business, what advice would you give them? And how would you maybe compare to what you've been in the past?
They say that it's a legacy company with what we have, and they just are so good at finding ways to help us and finding, I mean, you don't have to do this on your own. First of all, you've got the people that you work with. I'm not in the same line as you two, but we help each other anyway, and I really like that. That doesn't always happen. But they just want the best for us, and they want to help us in every way they can. And I just am so impressed. They're giving. They believe in what I believe in. And I find that's stunning, really. And they will, as I was saying earlier, when they talk to you, you'll meet somebody on the elevator, or they're there for you. They will listen. They're not sort of looking around to see who's important and they need to go and see. Do you know what I mean? I really, really like what they do. I like the detail they go into with the science, and they've got good people. They really have good people. And we haven't mentioned this. We're open in 33 countries, and that's cool because we're open in New Zealand and in England.
That is cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
And the thing about this is it's so incredibly important, and nobody's heard of it, that I do not have trouble in telling people about it, because whatever they don't, you tell people about it, they decide to do what they want to do. There's no forcing anybody to do anything. There's no vomiting information all over people like there are in some of the companies I've been in. But I like the people in the company, like us, but I really like the people at the top. They really do a good job. I'm going to be doing a tour of the are you going to do a tour too of the facility? Everything they own all of their facility, and it's so different. It's so interesting. So
it is so different. And like you said, even Joy and I are not on the same team, but our drive is not about the money. And that's what's so different about this. I mean, sure, we do it for the money, but that's not our main drive. It's to share with people because we've seen what it can do. And we've heard so many testimonials that are really life-changing. And this is what keeps us going. And the fact, like you said, we can talk to the top leaders and they're an everyday person. They don't feel like they're above us, and they get in and they sit with us and they mingle with us. And it's so different. And you hear other people talk about companies, and you can't reach the upper elite crust, you can't reach the higher ups, and you can't have conversations with them. And I can't tell you how many people I've just walked up, introduced myself to, and we start a conversation. And it's different, like you said, Carol. It's so different.
Well, and of course, we haven't even mentioned the fact that they were not intending to be a network marketing company. They were intending to sell this to a big
Pharmaceutical.
Thank you. Thank God I've lost words since I was 10. That makes me feel a whole lot better now. Anyway, they were going to sell it to the pharmaceutical company, but they had about 130 people, I think, who they'd been testing it out on once they realized how to stabilize the molecules. And nobody else in the world has realized how to stabilize the molecules. But they were going to sell it to the pharmaceutical company, who were going to offer them big bucks. I mean, they said, no, but you don't need to go anywhere else. This is going to sort you out for, for you and your future children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. But you're going to have to give up giving that. You're going to have to take everybody off it that's on it. And they were having great results with it. And the founder, who is the father of the guy who's our founder too, who's still there, they said, we're not going to do it. So they walked away from the pharmaceutical company. Not many people would have done that. That's so impressive.
And you think about it, and I've been told that there were some people on it that were on hospice. And and I'm not sure about the numbers, I think maybe there's still several that are still living this long that were on hospice with that. But like you said, that's like taking water or air away from someone that needs it to live.
Absolutely.
But
Yes,
like you said, we don't diagnose, treat, or cure, but it's very important.
Well, it's our own material. It's what our mitochondria make.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned when I met Doria, that it's not just the cell signaling molecules that lessen every decade by 10%. It's the mitochondria, which makes a lot of sense because that's where the cells are made. I didn't know that until 2 weeks ago. Or however.
Yeah, like you said, the science is really interesting. Even if you're not a science person, there's so many people that really dig into it just to learn the basics because it is so intriguing.
It really is. And it's there for us to look at, but they've got so many, if people are worried, there's going to be another company come along, we've got so many trade secrets and patents and things like that.
Right. I think we're safe for a while. So if you're looking for a business opportunity, this would definitely be it. No competition. It's just sharing with people. And like you said, we don't take the result personally if they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. And a lot of times people will come back and think, okay, let me try that, because they're hearing more about it and they're seeing results that people are having.
Yes, my goal is to spread the word about this. As you say, what people do with it is up to them.
Right.
Sometimes it's loved ones that need it rather than the person themselves, but you've got to know about it, because otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't know about it, you don't know about it.
That's true. Well, I appreciate that, Carol. Does anyone have questions for Carol you want to put into the chat? Look and see.
There's lots of beautiful people on this.
I know. So you've answered how much you were taking. That was one of them. And somebody complimented Russell too. He does have great interviews.
Yes.
But no questions for Carol? This is your time to speak to an English lady. I love the accent.
Oh, goodness.
I've always wanted to talk like that.
No, you don't want to talk like this, do you?
Yes, I do.
You talk beautifully, just as you are.
Well, I don't see any questions.
I think Norm is typing. Norm, are you typing?
Oh, is he? Okay, great.
Yeah, he's typing.
He certainly reacted there after watching.
Yeah. Well,
We'll give him a chance to
before
speak.
he gets his question in the chat, it's really responsibility, I feel, as nurses, and if you have this information and it helps someone, it's an obligation to share it with as many people as you possibly can. I mean, that's what we do as nurses. We educate our patients on how to take care of themselves, and with us hiding this under a bushel, so to speak, and not sharing it is really a disservice to our community and to those that, in our circle of influence. So that's why I share it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I share it.
I agree. So few people know about it. It's how long has it been out now? Is it 15 years or 14 years?
I think so. It was 2009, is that correct, when they actually released it? But I think they started the process, 2007 or 8, as far as the
Yes,
basic beginning company and all that.
Yeah.
There is Norm's question. What is it that you got started? Wait, what is it that got you started, or was it just to stay well?
Well, that, when you are well, you want to stick that way. So that was part of it. But it was the science. The science is fascinating. So, and it's easy to find. I mean, are you Norm? Yes. Are you connected with one of these two girls? No, not so. Just ask the person that got you involved and the.
Oh, he is an associate, but he's not in our
Oh, he is an
group.
associate.
But yeah, we've met him.
I've given up on network marketing because it was not easy, and now the company does everything. You don't have to have a garage full of blue bottles. Oh gosh, yes,
That's absolutely true.
so as you may have noticed, I'm rather enthusiastic about it. Can't help it.
Well,
I
you
think
can't
it's
help to
pretty-
be.
I think it's kind of exciting to have an artist be excited about science.
That is very
I'm
rare.
excited about so many different things, which is good news. You run out of time.
You're going to need to live to 120 to get everything done you want to do. Yeah,
Exactly. But I mean, I feel better than I did in my 20s. Truly.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
Mm.
And I'm like you, I do encourage people to give it at least 6 months. I say 3 to 6, but I really push for 3 because, like Doria's talked about, a lot of things start brewing or happening to your body, and it doesn't happen overnight. So you're not fixing it overnight. So think about if you're put on a statin or if you're put on a blood pressure medication, that doesn't work overnight. That doesn't work. Even a statin doesn't work in 3 months. So you've got to have time to see results. And again, just knowing the fact it's not hurting you and there's no side effects, why not give it 6 months?
Yes, I'm going to give it how many years? I can't wait. A lot of years.
A lot more.
Oh,
Well,
God.
if there are no more questions, yeah, Kirk says best business ever. Yes, I agree there.
It really is. It really is.
So if there are no more questions, we will stop the call, and we appreciate this so much, Carol. This has been amazing, and I'm so glad I got to meet you.
Thank you.
And I don't think anything happens without a reason, and I think that was God's divine that we met in Fort Worth last year. Very nice. Pardon?
Divine intervention.
Absolutely. We do upload these to our YouTube channel, which is Redox Nurse Talk. So I will get it processed, and it should be up by in the morning. And anybody can go and watch it and like our YouTube channel. We'd like to get more likes and more people, and share it as well. So if you're new to this, and I see some names I don't recognize, but if you've never heard about this and you're new to this technology, reach back out to the person that invited you to this Zoom and get your questions answered. You may want to try it as a customer. You would get a better deal if you try it as a preferred customer because you get perks and you can earn free points for products, as well as you get the better price. You get the same price that we pay as an associates. Or if you're looking for that business opportunity, this would be it because, like I said, no competition. There's nothing else out there on the market like this. And there's no toxicity, no side effects. If you could sit down and design the best business product that you could come up with, this would be it. So just give it a shot. Like I said, reach back out or reach out to someone of us if you just happened across it as well. But we want everyone to have a great night, and thanks for coming. And Dory, I will let you introduce our guest for next week. Or do we want me to?
Make sure, yeah, you probably can pronounce her name better than I can.
It's Beth Polari, and someone actually introduced me to Beth, so we will hear her story next Tuesday night. And if anyone has someone or knows someone that has a great testimonial, reach out to one of us. We're always looking for different guests in any realm. I mean, like I said, we've had top leaders on here as our guests, and we've had people that we just cross paths with daily. And sometimes those are the most special, precious ones, hearing their stories. So thank you again. Let me stop our recording before I
Thank
forget
you,
that
Geraldine,
part.
very much for having me.
Thank you, Carol. We
You were
enjoyed it.
delightful.
You were.